film, and again, just having the platform that I had in the position I had at Vice and Refinery, that was, you know, my legacy, or like part of what I wanted to leave to my work there. And yeah, I think it's super important, and hopefully more people watch it and get inspired, and get inspired by you and everyone else. And yeah, I'm really proud that I did it, and I'm proud that it's, you know, getting more engagement with the community as well. And yeah, very important, and I'm happy that it's there for people to look back on and build from. You know, it's just one moment, and then can build from there.
So one more question for Valerie, and then we're going to get to Rose. So Valerie, how has women's involvement in lowrider culture changed from your generation to today?
Well, they're spending a lot more money, that's for sure. The rides are a lot nicer. I mean, lowriding back then, you know, I grew up in the Mission District, and we were poor, right? So we'd have a car, and we'd do it little by little by little by. So in the film, you can see I don't have a grill, right? But I did get a custom grill built, but that was after there was, you know, the documentary. So it took time, it takes time, and it's gone to the next level. What I do want to say about lowrider culture per se is, even though I don't have one now, but once a lowrider, always a lowrider. So it's in my soul and my spirit, and it's a way of life, right? And I also want to say that lowriding has come from back then to now to one of acceptance, right? You can see the tension with the police, excuse me, and the harassment of the police. Now there is a relationship. I'm not saying we love the police, but there's an understanding here. We meet with them, we let them know that it's going to be, you know, whatever it is, the Lowrider Council in San Francisco lets them know there's going to be king of the streets, there's going to be cruising. So it's a little bit more, how would you say it? It's not as antagonistic, right? It's not such a fight. And I think also that lowriding has, over the years, like this was a lot, this has been decades, right? That it is more mainstream now, right? You see lowriders in commercials. You see lowriders in music videos. And now the post office has developed a lowrider staff, right? So I just want to do, I just want to also let you know that I do a shout out to all lowriders, and to the Lowrider Council of San Francisco, to Frisco Latin Queens, and to the community, right? And to the young people who grew up around us, because we gave them hope, right?
That's right.
The ones that could not afford a car, they were hanging on the streets. We touch their spirits. We touch young women's spirits. We validate their existence to be who they are. Thank you.
Rose, thank you, Valerie. Rose, so you guys know Rose's cars are inside the museum. Coming to California, because you're from New Mexico, yep. How does it feel to come to California and see so much love, like from the lowrider community for you, and you know, just everyone getting together? How are you feeling, Say?
I'm feeling like my heart is going to explode from gratitude and joy, and like a feeling of completion, or like parts of my soul are coming together to, you know, the two broken hearts pieces are coming together to form a whole in a way. Because I'm from Española, New Mexico, which is my tribe. Española is sort of bookended by two reservations, and we're on the southern one, which is Santa Clara Pueblo. And so I grew up in Santa Clara Pueblo, but Española was our town, right? And so as a young person in Española, we didn't have cell phones, so we would cruise, right? Like, so I bought my first car when I was 12, because, you know, that's what you need to do to have a social life, right? So I grew up in the world of you need a car to have a social life, and that social life in Español, the lowrider capital world, is like, you know, to have a custom car is everything, you know. It was the ticket to the world outside, right? And so to have, you know, and also being a tribal person from Santa Clara Pueblo, and we have a long history, right, of navigating cultural differences and the challenges that it has been. And I felt like I could use, my love of cars and also my community and my culture to start to bridge that gap that's been there. And also I feel like, we have our old beef, like we have beefs in our communities and cultures, and in this way we can start talking about it and also healing those things, right? And so I just feel, I also went to school for auto body. I know how hard it is to make that stuff. I've done it. I've done, the welding and metal fabrication, the paint, everything. So I walk out there and I see those cars, and I'm just like in awe, absolute awe, because I know the blood, sweat, and tears, and all the money that goes into that. It's harder, and it's love. It's all for love.
That's right.
And if it's okay to add one more thing. When I went to graduate school for art in ceramics, I took a seminar on performance art. And I started thinking about indigenous aesthetics and how aesthetics isn't separate from life. And actually the one thing that I could find as an example of applied aesthetics and everyday aesthetics, that lived experience of applied culture and art, was actually lowriding, custom cars. And I talked about how relational aesthetics and the aesthetics of the everyday is so embedded in cruising. Like how when you become one with this aesthetic experience, and that actually